subscribe our channel, stay till the end of the stories for more twist and turn. Comment us about what kind of stories you like to hear. My 24 female sister, 24 female, is about to get married, and she told me yesterday that she has been cheating. My 24 female sister, 24 female, is about to get married, and she told me yesterday that she's so basically the title, but of course there is always more. My sister and I have always been very close. We tell each other everything, even if we know the family wouldn't approve. We have the kind of relationship that we can normally tell each other anything and keep it between us. I love her more than anything, but I am stuck in a hard place here. So on to the story. My sister and I no longer live in the same city, but we are about 2 hours away from each other. She's been planning a wedding during all this COVID craziness, and even though I was supposed to be her maid of honor, I stepped down and decided not to go at all because we live in the US and COVID cases are just out of control. Yesterday, I went down to where she lives so that we could do each other's nails and just have some girl time before she goes back to school and gets married. During our girl talk, she comes out to me and says that she has been talking to another guy, Andrew 33M. I ask her what that means and she says that they have been sending nudes and talking about dating. My sister and Andrew talk every day and are talking about having kids together because he is well established and ready to have kids. I don't know if it is important, but they also don't live in the same city as each other, so they haven't actually met up and done the deed. They just talk every day through an app that her fiancé, Dave M26, can't access. When I ask her what this means for her wedding, on Saturday, she says she is still going to go through with it. I strongly cautioned her against going through with it, but she feels like she has been with Dave for so long that she just needs to marry him. My sister also says that she would leave her fiancé if Andrew came down on Saturday or before. Dave and my sister have been together for 6 years and I know him really well. He has stood by her even when she got kicked out of the family, another story entirely that is fixed now. His family has been paying for her schooling, car, housing and basically anything else that she wants. However, he has sent me a few unsolicited dick pics in the beginning of their relationship, so I did not like him for a while. They had deep discussions about how inappropriate that was and then decided to move forward with this relationship. Even though I had hesitations at first, I have come to decide that he's an alright guy who has made some mistakes, but who hasn't. And I'm chill with them getting married. I love my sister so much, I don't want to upset her, but I also really care about Dave and how she may screw him over. Since I know Dave so well, I could text him and tell Dave about Andrew, but I am not sure that it is actually something he needs to know. If it were me, I would want to know, but I was wondering what you guys thought I should do. I am also concerned she is just marrying Dave because she has been with him for so long and she knows his family will pay for whatever she wants. TLDR, my sister is sending nudes to another guy and she still wants to go through with her wedding on Saturday. Has been cheating. As much as this might hurt your relationship with her, Dave has a right to know. If I were in his shoes, I would never marry a woman who is already cheating on me before marriage. It's going to be a nightmare, but you'll be doing the right thing for Dave. With the amount of effort he's put in, it's respectful to let him make the choice to stay or leave. I think you should tell Dave. To me, it seems like your sister is only marrying him out of obligation. She is planning a whole life with this other person without even considering his feelings. She has even stated herself that she would leave him in a heartbeat if Andrew showed up before the wedding. I believe their marriage would fall apart quickly and it would just be even worse. It's best if you try to talk sense into her first, and if she still plans on going through with it, just tell Dave yourself. But be aware that this will most definitely ruin your relationship with your sister. If you've ever wanted to be that person who stands up and objects to the marriage, now's your chance. But seriously, somehow her husband to be nerds to be told before he marries her. Would I just text him? Should I go up there again? Get screenshots from her phone if possible. If that's not possible, then yes, just text him questions he needs to ask his fiancée. Text him from a cheap burner phone if you need to. Oh oof. Well, you really only have two options, right? 1. You tell him. 2. You don't. What's the fallout on you? Would she run to your parents? Would your parents get mad at you? My parents would stand by me, I think. My sister definitely would not be happy. I am sure she wouldn't trust me for a long time and might cut me out. Also, my sister would have nowhere to live, no job, and her schooling wouldn't be finished. Maybe tell your parents, see how they play this? At the very least, you shouldn't have to be the one to make this decision alone. That's too much pressure to make a moral decision when there's not one apparent. Maybe tell your closest friends as well? Sometimes people need the courage to do the right thing, whatever that is, and the opinions of people you care, trust and respect can make things less confusing for you. Ada, 4, admitting, I had doubts about my daughter actually being mine. I have two daughters, Gemma, 7F, and Harlan, 2F. My 31M wife, 29F, is ginger with green eyes. She can't stand to save her life, so is naturally extremely pale. I have darker skin, dark hair and dark eyes, so when Gemma was born with pale skin and blonde hair, we were stumped as we both don't know anyone blonde in my wife's family, and as she's grown up a bit she looks absolutely nothing like me. She has my wife's smile, but that's it. Harlan, however, takes almost exactly after me other than her mother's eyes, and there's no question in my mind that she's my daughter. As Gemma's grown, she's taken more after me, personality-wise, and the question slipped my mind and the doubts left my mind. My wife's pregnant again, third and final child. During a conversation about the children, I was asked if I was scared to have a third daughter. I'm not. Somehow it got to the topic and I confessed my past doubts about Gemma actually being my daughter. I love her the same and she is mine, biological or not, but when she was a baby I had my doubts and it stressed me out. I emphasized on the fact that the doubts left, however, recently, and that I love Gemma. Gemma was meant to be upstairs playing with my sister's son, 9, but she came downstairs and overheard. She cried for about an hour until me and my wife, managed to calm her down, and I told her I loved her and was just being silly. She seemingly moved past. My wife, however, isn't speaking to me, and the rest of her family is pissed at me too. My parents insist it's natural to have doubts. I moved past them and I was being honest with her. Ada? Your parents think it's natural to have doubts? WTF? If your dad can't trust your mom enough to know that you were his child, then why are they still together? I can't believe you didn't trust your wife either. It's amazing how little people know about genetics. You accused your wife of infidelity. Even if she gets past it, I doubt her parents/siblings/friends will. Your daughter is 9. She may seem fine and she may be fine, but she is old enough to remember this. She will more than likely think about this again when she is older, maybe when one of her boyfriends cheats on her or she hears about someone else cheating. And she will likely get upset again because she will be old enough to realize what you were accusing your wife of. No matter what you say, I have a hard time believing that you treated her the same as your other kids when she was younger and you thought she wasn't your daughter. I don't think it is unnatural for men to have doubts. There's some back and forth on which parent a baby looks like, with some argument that babies look like dad. Moms are more likely to say the baby looks like dad as an evolutionary advantage, making men feel connected to the baby. Source. It's a bit woo, but it doesn't go against logic that people who see themselves in others may be more readily available to connect. People like the op are either completely insecure or they failed Punnett squares in biology class. If your kid doesn't look like you, take a step back and reassess the situation to get your head on straight. If it's a situation like two blue-eyed parents produce a brown-eyed child, then I can totally see freaking out because high school bio generally doesn't get into weirdo genetics. But damn, spend 15 minutes on Google and chill the fuck out. I am dark-haired, dark-eyed, with easily tanned skin. All of my kids have blonde hair, blue eyes, and 2/3 have fair skin. Obviously there is no question they are minutes since they literally came out of me. But if I was the dad, I might have doubts as I look like I should be the next door neighbor and not their parent. At least until my basic fucking common knowledge kicked in 5 seconds later. I can see where you are coming from. Yes, maybe it is unnerving if the kid doesn't look a lot like the dad. However, I think that they really need to think about whether or not the partner is capable of cheating. Has the partner given any reason for you to be suspicious? In the post he doesn't say that he suspected cheating for any reason other than the kid's looks. That's a bit ridiculous to me. I mean it's understandable, but he should never have told his wife and should have taken that to the grave. If he really cared he could have done a paternity test when she was young, so that he didn't spend 10+ years thinking she wasn't his. I would be extremely offended if my husband accused me of cheating and of lying about the kid's biological father though, and I wouldn't ever be able to forgive or forget that. This. My parents divorced due to my mom's, very real, infidelity issues. One thing that did come up was whether my younger brother was my dad's. They didn't do the same for me BC I was already 18, this was to determine guardianship, custody. I might be a Mamma Mia situation as well, TBH. There were a few physical characteristics that drove this questioning, besides the fact that my mom admitted to cheating when my brother was conceived. He's the tallest person in our family. He's 6 feet 1 inch, my dad is 5 feet 8 inches, and my mom is 5 feet 4 inches. I'm 5 feet 3 inches. And none of my parents' siblings are tall, either. When his stubble grows a bit, it's a very reddish color. No one in the parents' siblings or my grandparents has reddish hair. He's incredibly lean and lanky. Most everyone on either side of the family is not tall as mentioned above, and especially on my dad's side, obesity runs in the family. All of his siblings and their kids are heavily built, nothing like my green bean of a brother. But lo and behold, he is my dad's child, got tested and everything. We think he collected one recessive tall gene from the great-uncle on my mom's side, our grandfather's brother, and we're not sure where, but we think somewhere in my mom's very wide European family, there's a reddish hair gene floating around. But my brother is proof that a child can look nothing like either parent, in this case, especially the father, and still be their biological kid. So Ob's point doesn't make much sense, if we're going solely on physical traits. Thanks for listening so far. If story have an update, we will post here. Like, subscribe to our channel for upcoming stories.